Right, my next question, if the tech bubble were to burst, how would it affect your investment trust? And I'm going to ask that to Dale.
Yeah, I mean, I think there would definitely be some impact. We have holdings in some of the big tech companies in China, but I think they would hold up relatively well relative to global markets, just given that they trade at really significant discounts to their global peers. But at the same time, we have big holdings in very out of favor parts of the market as well that have nothing to do with the tech cycle. And I'd highlight sort of the consumer space as examples, areas like property. In general, I think we'd hold up pretty well. We're sort of our starting point in sort of valuations for the trust are pretty attractive at sort of low teens. So I think we'd hold up relatively well versus global markets in that
Yeah, well,
situation.
that diversification would definitely benefit you. Lawrence, if there was going to be a tech or an AI bubble bursting, how would it affect your trust?
I think when you see a lot of new technologies, it's never a straight line or a smooth path. And if you did see some form of tech sell-off, it would be very natural to assume that that would be a headwind for us, our style of investing in a number of the companies in the portfolio. But I think one thing I'd really highlight is that Scottish Mortgage is far broader than just an AI theme. We're invested in the energy transition, in digital financial services, in new ways of delivering through drones, a huge array of different types of companies that are based all around the world. So it's not a single AI bet portfolio, it's not a single country portfolio. And indeed, if you look versus the Mag 7, the big US tech companies, we're actually underweight them. So it's a global diversified bet on change is really what we're trying to do with our portfolio.
Yeah, real diversification and innovation and companies that are going to shape the future, I would say. Now, Job, I'm fascinated by what you're going to say to this question because obviously you haven't got very much exposure to technology. But do tell me, if it would burst, how would it impact your investment trust?
Well, I think it would affect all world equity markets, to be honest, because the big tech companies in America are just so big in terms of their market capitalization that it'd be naive to not think it wouldn't affect all markets. I mean, Nvidia, for example, is bigger than in market cap terms, bigger than the whole of the UK stock market put together. All the companies in the FTSE 100. Having said that, we are pretty lightly exposed to technology companies as such, and so I mean, our main weights in the City of London are consumer staples, everyday consumer companies, financials, that's banks and insurers, financial services, and real estate investment trusts. And so we would see ourselves, being relatively less affected, but if the bubble does burst.